Hi guys, and welcome back to a new tutorial. In the end of this month we got Halloween and I have something special and spooky for you. Today I got my picture idea in my cellar because I needed a preserving jar, and I went down in my cellar and I was searching in dark corners to find a cool jar, and I found this old jar here, and inside of this jar you can see is a head, and I was thinking, oh hey, cool, I have a head in a jar, and I think nearly everybody will have a head in a jar, so let's take it out and let's take pictures with it. And today I will show you how you can make this special jar for Halloween and how you can take pictures with it. So let's go. Let's start with the material for this horror picture, and I think not everybody will have a head in a jar at home, so you have to make your own head, and it's very simple. You need only 3 portrait images for this. You need an image frontally of your face, and one from the left side and one from the right side, and then you have to combine all together in Photoshop. It's very simple, I will show you later. And then you need a cling film, and of course then you need a jar and also water to fill the jar. And then you need acrylic color in white and food color in red. And then you need a syringe, and then you need a toothbrush, and also you need 2 torches. And for underground and background, I have my and background from Landsat. You need a dark or a cool underground, but you don't have to use the one I have from Landsat. I love it because it's waterproofed, and also I play here a bit with water. And then I have kitchen roll paper here to clean it up later or to erase some mistakes on my optic on my jar. And then I have an e-cigarette to create smoke to make it a bit more spooky. And I think these are all my materials. So let's start with the picture editing. First, load the 3 images into Photoshop. Now take the right and left portrait and mask the whole thing. Use the color black and a brush to remove the area you don't need and align the 3 pictures. It doesn't have to be perfect, just the transitions should be smooth and soft. When you're fine with your editing and you really love the smoothness of the 3 portraits together in one, you have to crop the whole image into a size of DIN4. It's 210 to 297 millimeters. In my last step, I will take a brush in the color black and make the surrounding around the portraits in a dark black color. I think it's better in optic in my jar later. After you have created your head, you have to print it, and then you have to cover the complete print in cling film to make it a bit waterproofed and also to make it a bit stronger to avoid some crinkles, because every crinkle you will see later on in your images. And now let's go ahead with a design for the jar. Now we have to change the optic of a transparent and clean jar in an old and scary jar in optic, and for this you have only to mix the white acrylic color with water and fill it in a syringe and make some color lines around the jar. And then you have to do the same with the red color, and then you can also put the color on the toothbrush on the top and make some splatter effects around the jar. And take care that you take your kitchen roll paper to make a less mess around the jar, because if you make the splatter effect with the toothbrush, you will get a lot of color everywhere, and then you have to clean it later. And this is all for the jar, so let's combine now all together. In the next step, you have to put the cling film covered print inside of the jar and fill the jar completely with water. And don't do it in the other way, because I did it first and the optic was not so cool looking in my pictures because I had a lot of air bubbles behind the cling film, and it's not very cool looking and not realistic looking in the images. So please do first put the cling film covered print inside of the jar and then fill it with water. To get a more realistic optic, I put also some real hairs around the face and put some drops of the food color in red also inside of the jar, and then you have only to close the jar and your head in the jar is finished, and now you can go ahead with the setup. My setup is very simple. Of course, I have my under and background. On my underground, I placed my jar in the middle, and with a light, I played a bit around. If you place a light in the back of the jar, you have a lightning phase, and I think the optic will be very cool. And also, if you place a light in the front or in the side, the optic will be also very cool. But take care with the big reflections of the light. If you place the light a bit higher, you will have less reflections on the jar, and I think the optic will be also very fine. And then I played also a bit with my e-cigarette to get the smoke and fog effect on the images, and I think the optic is very cool. And then I did my pictures with a tripod and a focus fixed lens with 17mm, and now I think we can go ahead with my camera settings. My camera settings are very simple. I choose the manual mode, focused manually, and of course I switched off the image stabilization because I did my pictures with a tripod, and my ISO was by 200 and my exposure time was between 1/80 and 2 seconds, and my aperture was between 1.8 and 8. I hope you liked my tutorial, and if yes, please thumb up, write a nice comment and subscribe my channel. This will make me very happy. And now I wish you happy Halloween, and we will see us in my next tutorial. Ciao!